Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time, we're covering Digimon Ghost Game Episode 10, Game of Death. I'm May, and I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts. First up, we have Quinn.
Hi.
And then, of course, we have Chloe.
Hello.
So, I keep on trying to say, we're watching Digimon Adventure : every week, and my mouth goes to say adventure before I say ghost, so have you ever noticed that there's like a brief
I just
pause
want to call
before...
it Digimon Adventure Ghost Game.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why.
Digimon Adventure Golin
game.
I haven't... Okay. Anyway, let's move on with the start of the show.
Digimon Adventure Danger Ghost.
Okay,
Error
I like
ghost.
that one. Anyway, so just before we get into it, a brief synopsis about episode 10. So we learn that there's a rumor about players of the game who go missing due to a beautiful woman who appears, and it turns out that Kiyoshiro was obsessed with this game, but he stopped playing out of fear of this rumor. Hiro's friend goes missing because that's kind of his job, is to be thirsty and get victim by the...
I was really hoping he'd die.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. It's just like, I guess this is kind of like his role, is to
He's
go
like
missing.
the Oh No guy, but sexist and annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss Oh No. I just wish they brought Oh No guy back, or if we learned that Kotaro's dad is actually the Oh No guy, that would be pretty cool.
That would be, but Kotaro would still have to be better.
Yes, it would be an interesting bit of world building, but like, I would still want to punch him.
Yeah, no, that is fair. Anyway, so Kiyoshiro and Hiro witnessed this, and they talked to Bokumon about the Digimon they saw and learned that it's Kinkakumon and Ginkakumon. And we learned that Ginkakumon is, horrifyingly, making liquor from dissolving humans, which is horrifying, and we're getting into Vor again, so that's a thing.
You know...
It's not even Digivore this time.
That's fair. I'm curious what fermented human blood...
Well, hold on though. Is it Vor since it's a Digimon drinking a human? That's not like within a species.
That's true.
Oh no, that is...
It's still pretty Vor in the...
It's not auto
pornography classification sense, I would imagine.
I suppose that's fair.
Anyhow.
It's horrifying anyway.
Yeah.
The group decide that Kiyoshiro should try to beat the game in order to rescue the victims, and Jellymon inserts herself into the game by
we end up
using
saving the victims,
tentacle.
but we really only care about the one.
Yeah, it's kind of... We see that there's like 20 people or something just kind of dissolving in there at one point.
Well,
Fortunately,
we only
we
see...
get them all back, but basically by accident?
More or less, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we only see two show up again, and it's Kotaro and the unnamed player from the start of the game. Mm-hmm. So really, we only see two show up because I guess those are the two that we know have vanished.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm just assuming that they all come back, like with the Clockmon episode, that they were all sort of returned at the end. Alternatively, maybe they were already dead.
Who knows, yeah.
I think we're supposed to assume they're all returned, but I definitely...
I choose not to.
If nothing else, Gin Kakumon complaining about not getting any alcohol.
Yeah.
Suggests that, I suppose. Which is a shame, because I was really hoping that he'd get to drink, what's his name?
Drink Thirsty Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Kotaro can drink the thirsty man.
Exactly, it's poetic.
Does that make you thirstier? Anyway, so Jellymon inserts herself into the game via USB cord, which is kind of adorable, and she's winning against Kinkakumon, with Kiyoshiro kind of helping her and controlling her through the arcade stick. But
Digimon can always have... they've always just been able to do that.
I like that. I think it's really cool. But anyway, so Kinkakumon makes herself, be in the human world. They do a little phase shift thing. And it turns out Jellymon and Kiyoshiro actually struggle against Kinkakumon when Kiyoshiro's not battling alongside Jellymon, because Kiyoshiro passes out. And Jellymon starts, tearing up and wakes him up by electrocuting him. And then evolves to test the Jellymon, and they defeat Kinkakumon, and Kinkakumon still wants to fight, but Ginkakumon kind of was just in it for the alcohol, and having learned that you can kind of just buy alcohol, he's less concerned with drinking human dissolved alcohol, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Discussion time. So, let me find my words. Alright, now we've... Did not find my words. Words were not successfully found. Anyway. Alright, so, there they are. So now that we're done discussing the synopsis, let's discuss the discussions. What were our highlights this week?
Good question.
Yeah.
Oh dear, because I have many highlights. I loved this episode.
We finally got divided opinions!
Yay, this is exciting, because every episode we've just sort of enjoyed being in agreement. No, I loved this episode. Of course, I do have, I guess I'll just say my main lowlight. I know I'm jumping ahead, but sue me, I guess. My main lowlight is, well, I guess my only lowlight is the fact that this episode suffers from a lot of the things that all of Ghost Game has suffered from, and that is the fact that it does not feel like it fits in a 20-minute format. It always feels like it has a really strong start, and like the investigation of the rumor and all the build-up and the world building is really, really good. But then because by the time they've gotten through all that, they have 5 minutes to do the fight, and beat and win and be the hero, and that is not or done really well necessarily in 5 minutes. So that's the only real lowlight that I have, because I loved this episode. I felt like it was fun. It was nice that it was a Kiyoshiro episode. It was nice that we get another insight into his personality, that he likes video games. That's kind of cool. And I don't know why, I felt like the Jellymon tearing up over Kiyoshiro being passed out really moving. And it was nice to see such a, I guess, headstrong character be so emotional about her friend being unconscious and saying how she wants to fight alongside him. And that was just really emotional, and I really, really appreciated that. I really like Jellymon. Tesla Jellymon is, I don't know, I'm a bit torn on her design, because on one hand, it's a very logical, simple step from Jellymon to Tesla Jellymon. It just looks like she's taller and has different clothes.
And no face.
And that's kind of it's a basic evolution.
It's very basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on the other hand, it's more of a logical evolution. It's more of a logical step that not all evolutions that have to have them suddenly have nipple missiles and are completely different in appearance.
No,
some can be similar.
A little more than suddenly has longer arms and a binder and a weird helmet.
I thought she was really cool. She has like a. She's like wearing a shirt but she's not got the sleeves on the shirt. I don't know. There's an interesting like costume going on. But I really liked this episode. I felt like it was emotional. It was nice to see Jellymon more or less have a personality. I always do appreciate it when we give the Digimon personalities as well as the human partners. I really I appreciate it. I like this episode. I just had, my highlights were the whole episode except for the only lowlight, which is something that's not unique to this episode, and that is each episode feels like it should be half an hour to 40 minutes, not 20 minutes. 20 minutes is just, each episode is just so quick. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
That's fair. I found a screenshot to ruin your time here, which I'm now putting in the chat.
Oh no, my time is going to be ruined.
Because I realized that Tesla Jellymon's little skirt is also her skin.
Yep.
Oh, that's horrifying. I love it. No, I love that. I love that so much. Oh, I love that. No, I like that more now. Okay. You've actually turned me. Also, she's wearing like gloves almost, but the fingernails on the gloves are drawn. Like it's just painted in. Like
her skin is splitting off of her hands, and her like weird ogre hands underneath are about to mess you up.
Does this answer the question that so many people have had about Digimon? Is like the pants that Digimon randomly get when they evolve actually just their skin?
I believe they are the skin.
I think this kind of just shows that the clothes that Digimon wear as they evolve are just their skin. Mm-hmm. They don't just magic clothes. That is. Oh, I love this even more. And her little. Okay, you've actually made me like her design. I know that this was meant to like ruin me, but I think it's great. And
I initially thought it was a lab coat, and I was like, Quinn, you have to like it. It's a lab coat. But then I paused it and did the frame by frame and was terrified.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's like a skin lab coat. I know, it is. It's a skin lab
coat breaking off from her vagina bones.
Those aren't... No, the vagina's not that. No, they're like... That's just like her hip bones.
Anyway, it's...
Oh, I love that. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's like... It's just...
It's some pretty great body horror, and I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this horror that's going on there. Like, okay, you're right.
The upper half could be more inspired, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's very much just like Jellymon on some extra things. Like, they just
Jellymon
sort of put extra things.
And, like, grew out of her skin.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
Air is officially here for that.
I'm here for Jellymon existing. I'm very... I like this. Yep, okay, Tessa Jellymon. You've won my respect now. I'm here. I'm very much here and in approval of you. So yeah, I like this episode. I guess I can't really pinpoint why. I just had fun watching this episode. Like, I'm obviously like analyzing each episode, but I felt like, I don't know, I just had fun. It's hard to kind of pinpoint. I enjoyed watching this. I thought it was fun. Almost said foin. That's not even a word. Why is my word even like this? Foin. It's foin. It's foin, moit. I don't know why when I'm ever doing an Australian accent, I actually put on an Australian accent, which is really weird because I actually have an Australian accent. And I don't know why I have to ever put on an Australian accent because it's natural, and I don't do a very good Australian accent. It's a really bad one, which is really weird because
that's the best part.
I'm Australian. I'm not good. I don't know why I'm like this.
Have you asked me to the Barbie? See?
That was awful.
That was intentionally awful.
Oh, sure.
It actually took me a while to process what you were saying.
Exactly. See? That's me being awful for you. As a service.
Mm-hmm. As a treat.
Sabisu.
I don't think we even say, like, Barbie anymore. We just say, do you want to come over for food? And it's just implied Barbie. Like, it's just
I feel
implied.
Like Implied Barbie is a really good episode title.
It is. I was going to call it, like, our children's death game, or our death game or something, but, like, Implied Barbie, and, yeah, I guess that's a good one.
Alright, so moving on from whatever that just was,
It was me saying highlights, and if I could sum it all up, it's, I like this episode, I like Digimon, yay Digimon, also body horror, yay body horror. Yeah. That's basically my rambling for 10 minutes that I just did, summed up into 2 seconds. I like Digimon.
I think our highlights are much more concise, shall we say.
Slightly.
Good, yeah. Please, show me how to be concise with highlights. Concise lights.
I'm glad that someone besides Gammamon got to evolve, although I feel like me saying that is a highlight is just me being generous, because I feel like we shouldn't have had to wait 10 episodes for that.
And Gammamon maybe shouldn't have been in this episode. Or at very least didn't need to evolve.
Yeah, Gammamon was in this episode and evolved and did literally nothing.
Oh yeah, he evolved and disappeared, and also he hacked a door because Kyoshiro was too stressed and couldn't work out the code because he was stressed, which is also a mood.
He couldn't remember what Kotaro's PIN number was, which implies that he either, as dorm manager, knows everyone's PIN number and has to memorize it because he doesn't have just, his own override code, or he just knows Kiyoshiro's PIN number because they're dating.
They're dating. I like this.
Yeah, Kotaro.
I'm here
whatever.
for it.
Yeah.
Kotaro. I knew you were saying. They're both, it's K and K. Exactly. They love each other.
Exactly.
I'm here for it. Yep, I like that.
Secret dating. That's why he was so horrified when he walked into his room.
Yep.
I like this. Yeah, I'm here for it.
My boyfriend is lusting over a digital sexy lady?
Without me?
Is title of my light novel?
Could be. But yeah, that more or less sums up our highlights.
Oh, wow.
Someone besides Gammamon got an Evo. I guess it was nice that sexist friend got put in a pickle again.
King Kakumon was kind of hot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So these Digimon I learnt about from the card game. And in the card, when I was opening boosters for this particular set, it was just all like sexy devil ladies and men, and I was just like, oh, this is
So
the
it was
best
just made
because
for you, yeah.
it was made for me. I was just like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just like, it just had some amazing art that had some like big step on me energy. Like,
As Digimon so very often does.
Yeah, they do.
yeah, Digimon does really do that, and
Digimon tries to get as many fetishes in as they possibly can, in the great tradition of children's shows.
yeah,
Which
of course,
ones were this week
of course.
then? Big scary step on me, lady. Being negged by your partner.
Yep.
Jellymon got some good digs in on Kiyoshiro. I guess that could qualify as a highlight.
Also, I mean, I guess this isn't really a highlight because it's something that should just be expected, but I did like the fact that instead of it being the... Like, I thought at the start, it's the sister is getting them for the male because the male's asking, like, her brother's asking for it, but it actually just seems that, like, she's the boss.
Yeah,
It's-
I could
It's
see where
pretty
you're
up
coming
in the
from.
air. He seemed to be doing the controllery aspects, which, should at least be helpful, I would think, when doing the video game aspect, but it's
Yeah.
real unclear to what extent any of that mattered with his 14-button fight stick,
That
God.
was kind of great.
of which he used 2 buttons.
Yep.
Yeah, he was just button mashing.
Literally, the only
Like-
thing that changed was how far apart his hands were.
Yeah, and also, I don't think I've ever actually heard aneki before.
Aneki
I've always
was
heard
pretty
aniki.
great.
Yeah, I was just like, that's
So
great.
Anki
Like instead of
is,
like,
a term since
Big
Claire's
Brother.
looking at me,
With
not
the
Oh,
knowing
yeah.
what I'm
confused
saying.
look.
Yeah, it literally means big brother, and it's sometimes used in affection for someone who is not literally your brother, and here they substituted ane, which means older sister. It's just a term that I suspect has not been typically used before.
Okay.
I've certainly
Yeah,
not heard
and-
it elsewhere.
in like gangs, like the younger or less senior like members will call their higher ups like aniki, like
Yeah.
big bro, but like in a very sort of almost respectful in the gang. But I loved and when he calls out aneki, I was like, yeah, that's cool.
That
That's
was
really
pretty
cool. Yeah, I don't know. This episode was really like, I don't know. I used to be really into fighting games, so I was kind of like for this episode, and it was just I liked it. I was good. Clap, clap, clap. I like this.
I do have a
I guess-
last highlight, which is that we
Oh,
need
yeah?
a VR helmet to play this 2D fighting game.
Yeah,
That
I
you
didn't.
realize that's
that,
also
I
on
didn't,
our lowlights list.
See, I'm not
Yeah.
sure it should have been on the lowlights list. I was just saying things I thought of.
Okay.
It's
okay.
no, that's
That's
an observational thing. Like
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't even consider that. Like you're right, it makes no sense.
It's
I
so
mean,
dumb.
I think fighting games do have like a VR mode. Like even I almost said Smash Mouth. Oh yes, my favorite Nintendo Switch fighting beat 'em up. It's Smash Mouth. No, I almost said it again. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Hey now, you're an all-star.
Smash Bros.
Get your game on. Go play. No, Smash Brothers, the fighting game. You can make like the Nintendo Labo VR headset, and it just, from what I understand, it's the same view that you'd get from like just watching it, but you're like closer up and you can look around and see the rest of the stage sort of thing.
Okay, but
So I'm
that's,
guessing that is?
that is not VR, and I don't think you
No.
need a multi-$1,000 piece of equipment to play it.
Yeah.
It's just
it is
very
a bit
funny because it's a 2D fighting game.
Yeah, like the only thing I could imagine it would do would just kind of be like, make it as if you're a spectator at the arena or whatever.
Yeah.
If they were to VRify a 2D fighting game.
Of course, as soon
Or
as
like-
Jellymon logs in, suddenly it's all in 3D.
Full
so.
3D, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't even realize that, but no, that's a weird thing. Do we have any other highlights?
Nah, I think I'm good.
Yeah, nothing really jumping out
Okay.
to me at the moment.
Lowlights, because as I mentioned, my only one was the fact that it just seemed like it's not a 20-minute episode, it should be longer, so y'all have the floor.
So I guess it turns out that it's not a low light, that the game requires a VR headset.
I don't know what that is, but it's very funny.
Yeah, I guess I just kind
funny.
of get a kick out of the fact that you can either use like a fight stick or a regular old gamepad, as the person in the intro did, but what is required is the VR headset.
Yes, everyone has that. I can't
Yeah.
tell if we're doing like a Sword Art Online joke with that, because it sure seems like it with the Death Game title and whatever.
Yeah.
And yet then we never followed up on that in any meaningful way. We just kind of moved on to this weird sake thing.
Yeah.
That I, for one, don't feel was necessary at all.
It was weird, and I don't think it's the first time I'd heard about that whole, like, folktale, I guess, but it was...
I'm not
It seemed like an
familiar
odd
with
place
the
to put it.
details, and yeah, it's just a weird decision to
Yeah.
kind of throw into your game of death. They could have just, threatened to kill people or disappeared them or...
Well, but see,
things
if you
that
die
didn't
in the
involve
game,
booze.
then you die in real life, then they wouldn't be able to undie in the game and then real life.
That's fair. So really, the title just lied to us. That's
Yeah.
a low light.
That's a low light, yeah. They should just... I don't think they could call it drinking game, though.
It should have been.
Should have been.
Children's drinking game!
I mean, we talked about letting Ginkakumon into Dad's stash.
We did. I forgot.
Yeah, that was... I like that.
I mean, it was a perfectly good resolution to the problem, but,
I
how
like
many
how
long has your
excited.
dad been gone that you have just...
He has access to the stash.
does he not live in a dorm?
I think he still
Look, you don't understand.
goes
He
home.
has access to the stash. Yeah, I have no idea if he lives there or not.
Yeah. It was a real low light
I
that
think he
Sexist Friend is a
visits.
real sexist jackass, though.
Yeah, like, first of all, why'd they even have to bring him back again? Like, I get that he's kind of being oh no guy, but also just have him not be a creep.
Yeah.
And if he's gonna be a creep, don't be so gung-ho to save him and only him, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's just Kazu plus Kenta from Digimon Tamers, because he just reminds me of both of them.
Yeah, but none of the, occasionally redeeming parts.
Were there occasional redeeming parts?
I want to pretend so.
I mainly don't like them because when they found out that their best friend had a Digimon, they just gave him the silent treatment.
Yeah, they were real jerks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of... It might not be, like... It feels, maybe, in retrospect, a little petty to put this as a low light, but, like, the game's fan base must be trash for both Kiyoshiro and Sexist Friend to get 20 win streaks just, like, instantly.
Yeah.
Is it an online game or they just CPUs? Like, I don't think they ever kind of showed that it was...
Sure, I mean, I would certainly assume that it was an online fighting game from, context, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, like, the fighting games don't get popular because of their great single player, you
And
know?
single-player games don't have events like that, like what's the guy thought it was.
Yeah, they do
so...
oh yeah, cool event, or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, so no, I think this has to be an online game, but yeah, the
Most
player
likely.
base just has to be absolute garbage.
I'm still not sure why Pokemon was even in this episode.
Either one of them.
I'm
Because
glad that they are, though.
Yeah, that's fair. But, like, they just, like, sent a text, and then they met up at the library, and then at the library he was like, I don't really know anything about video games. And then his assistant was like, hey, maybe it's these two.
Yeah, I happen to know the plot this time. Oh, that's... Literally, why did we come here?
They're taking away
He
Angoromon's
sent
whole
me
thing.
a text. Also, we moved to a different library. It was really important to establish that we moved to a different library because this library has different books.
And is closer to the dorms.
Yeah.
Because that's, I guess, something they're taking into consideration.
I guess,
for
like,
reasons.
that's just a, like, weird thing to need to clarify for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah. It also seemed like characters just kind of seemed really, like, flat and two-dimensional this episode.
Yeah.
No pun intended in the 2D fighting game.
Yeah, Jellymon got a little bit, but even there, like, it was just kind of the same tsundere thing again.
Yeah.
And then...
It was also annoying that Jellymon was trying to get Kiyoshiro to, do the thing, do his limit break, his integer overflow, which I'm still not actually sure they understand how that works.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. But then when Hiro suggests it, he's just like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Hiro finally is the one who says, sorry, man, you have to do the thing. And then he goes, oh, okay, I'll do it now.
Since a man told me to, I guess I will.
Yeah. It's just a weird resolution to that. Also, what's her name just being on the phone, but otherwise not in this episode? Kind of weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird. But also, another kind of nitpick lowlight was how Kiyoshiro takes them into, digital pocket dimension thing. And then, even though this is the 10th episode and they've been... What episode did Kiyoshiro get introduced in? Like 3rd or 4th?
I thought
Like as
he
a...
was introduced.
5?
Well, he was introduced in the first episode, but when did he get his
Second, I
Digimon?
think.
I think 5?
Oh, maybe it's... Okay.
Yeah, 5.
And
I'm
Goramon
just
came
remembering-
before Jellymon, yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Either way, like, he's been around the block a few times. He knows that it's not actually his dorm that just got blown up, but even so, he's just like, my dorm! When...
I kind of like that. I like that he's, like, so serious about it, he will get...
He's such a herb.
Like,
It is kind of great
concerned.
sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I suppose, to be fair, if I were in the moment, and even if I, like, intellectually knew, I'd probably still freak out a little bit.
I guess I could see that.
But I'm just a curmudgeon, as has been established.
I mean, I thought that Hiro would be my favorite, but definitely, like, in the whole season, but so far, Kiyoshiro has been my favorite. He's just so enjoyable as a character, and I want to protect him, but he's also pretty relatable.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that sort of brings us to our next topic, which is, what are our favorite characters for this episode?
Would you like to go first, Quinn?
No, by all means.
Okay. I think my favorite character for this episode is Rui's green VLC icon on her laptop.
Yeah, I did notice that Ruri has, like, this universe's VLC, which is
She's
green.
a woman of good taste.
And yeah, I immediately spotted that, and I was just like, that's VLC. So, I appreciate that. My favorite character actually was a character. It was Jellymon. I don't know why, I just really, really like Jellymon in this episode.
That's fair.
That's fair, yeah.
Quinn, who was your favorite?
The VR helmet.
Oh no, we're going abstract concepts and inanimate objects. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I like this episode a lot. I guess it's good that we disagree for
and
once.
That's,
Yeah.
it's nice.
It's good to know that we are capable of forming our own opinions.
Yeah, I'm happy that we can actually, like, because previously it's been like we have very much sort of agreed and our ratings haven't really changed, like, haven't really differed that much. So it's good that we're actually looking like, we still differ, which is good. So that brings us to rating. I'm sorry, I gave this episode a 5. I just thought it was fun, and I enjoyed it, so I gave it a 5. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're entitled to do so. I think you are high as hell.
Forgive me, Daddy Ginkakumon, for I have sinned. I have given this episode a 5. I'm really sorry.
He must have dipped into his stash.
But also, like, Ginkakumon, fine as hell. Like, a 10 out of 10 would go out for drinks with him. He's just like, he is a thick, the dad bod of a man, and I'm very much here for him. Like, cool, daddy.
Okay, that is not where I thought this episode was gonna go.
Definitely.
Hey,
not.
if people can thirst over the zombie
Hey, by all
lady,
means, I just didn't see it coming.
what's the zombie lady that everyone just saw and went, oh, Dommy Mummy? For like 3 months.
Oh, Resident Evil vampire lady?
Oh,
Yeah, everyone
yeah,
just-
the tall lady.
Yeah, if people can thirst over the tall zombie mummy, Dommy Mummy, I think they called her, I can thirst over thick as hell dad bod Digimon man.
Fair
He
I
is
guess.
he's his husbando material. So yeah. So I gave
Play
this
fighting
episode
games
a
together.
Yeah.
yes. Drunken fighting games. He's yeah.
That
A
does
5 out
seem
of
like
5.
your style,
Cool.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chloe, what was your rating for this episode?
Oh gosh, okay, so I was debating between like a 1.5 and a 2.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe we just came into the episode in a bad mood or something, or like, I don't know, with less childlike wonder than
Apparently.
air.
Oh no, it's
Few people
definitely
have as
me.
much childlike wonder as air.
That's true.
It is the month of December. I am full of childlike wonder for Christmas. I look at everything and I'm just like, because Christmas makes me that childlike wonder, except for when it comes to
But not
Ginkakumon,
because
who
the
is
entire
fine
podcast.
as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that a 2 or a 1.5, Chloe?
What was the other episode I gave it to?
I did send the
Yeah.
the ratings through. You gave, the lowest score you've given was episode 6, which was the Sirenmon episode, and you gave that a 2.
Sirenmon. Oh, right.
The karaoke.
Oh, gosh, okay. I think I'd also give this a 2 then.
Okay, so at least it's not a 1.5. We haven't gone down that low yet,
Not
which
yet.
is good. And Quinn?
I am also going to say a 2. It is by no
Okie
means
dokie.
the worst episode of Digimon I've ever seen, but it had potential that it didn't really do anything with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's still better than Colon, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about an average,
By and large, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch an episode of this than an episode of Colon.
Yeah, I would say that this
Yeah.
was on par with, an average-ish Colon episode, if I'm being real, though.
Oof.
Which is most of them. What about ranking? So, I'm sorry, I have sinned. I have ranked this at the top. I really like this episode,
Oh,
okay?
no.
We really, really differed with this episode,
Yeah, we did.
which is good, because that makes for discussion. But I don't know why I keep on pointing. Like, I'm like a white
Like we can see.
drunken frat. Like, I'm a white drunken frat boy just doing the... Look, I don't even know what a frat boy is, except for, like, in movies, but I'm assuming that they point a lot in the air when they're trying to, talk. I don't know. But I keep on doing that.
Just, 18-year-old boys who are paying $80,000 a year to go to a school so that they can drink.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that.
We know.
That seems like a good reason. Like Australians make up holidays just to drink, so I completely understand that is valid. But I keep on pointing in the air. I don't know. But anyway, I ranked this episode at the top. I liked it. It was fun. Daddy Ginkakumon, please be gentle. What are y'all ranking this episode, Chloe?
I think I'm gonna put this one just above the cursed song, above episode 6, so second to last for me.
Well, it's at least it's not the bottom.
It's
Right.
it was tough to choose, but yeah, I think that's where I'm landing.
And Quinn?
I'm going to put it second to last as well.
Second to last for both?
Yeah.
That is fair. So, looking at our overall rankings and how much we gave it, in our overall ranking, it was also second to last because it got an overall score of 9, which beats the episode 6 overall score, which was 7, and the next one is 11, which is episode 7. So yeah, it is second to last, but still, I like this episode, but it is okay. It is okay that we differ, because we're different, but we're the same. Alright, so now that we're done discussing the episode, let's move on to Pondering, Postmon Pat, and predictions. So, first up, we'll look at our comments on YouTube. So, we have TGS, who gave the last episode, which was episode 9, 5 out of 5, and they felt like it was a nice final for the beginning arc by explaining the rules they had been hinting at with the Digimon. They personally don't want Clockmon to be redeemed for a younger audience's show. They do like that Hero is empathetic enough to save Clockmon, and they do like Clockmon will be watched by Bokumon instead of being left alone. And yeah, I like that they did tie it up sort of by saying, oh yeah, we'll watch him. I kind of wanted maybe an ongoing thing where Clockmon is trying to like commit crimes, and then Bokumon's like, and Clockmon's like, done. Like, I don't know, that would be cute.
I really doubt it, but that would be pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if he just follows around Kotaro and just makes him super old whenever he's being, like, terrible.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Next, we have Finished Caesar, who says they love Digimon Frontier. Somebody had to. And I say that whenever anybody says that they love Digimon Frontier, I'm like, cool, I'm glad that it had one fan. But there are actually lots of people who like Digimon
There are at
Frontier,
least
and I'm
7
happy
of
for
you.
that. Yeah, all 7 of you, I'm sure are having a great time. Anyway, they say that that Bokumon is their favourite Smarty Pants Digimon. Yeah, me too. And they can't wait for Gin Kakumon and King Kakumon this episode. They honestly thought, because of the fighting game theme of the next episode, Grappleomon would be the main Digimon, since he's a Digimon description that tells us that he evolved from Leomon by absorbing data of fighting games. Yeah, that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And also, just to make it clear, I have no problem with people liking Frontier. It's just kind of like an ongoing thing where I'm like, someone likes Frontier? One person does. So it's just a thing. And Frontier does have redeeming aspects. For example, it ended. Like, that was a really great thing for me. But,
Oh, God.
Jokes aside, the world building is pretty great in Frontier, and it could have been so much better. Anyway, we have a comment from Sliss who says their personal theory for why they think the animation has been better in Ghost Game than Adventure Colon is they took some of the money earned from Adventure Colon and instead of putting it back into the show, they decided to save it for this show since they knew because of nostalgia people would watch the show anyway, but they needed another reason like good animation for people to watch Ghost Game. I guess that kind of makes sense.
I suppose.
But also,
potentially,
but
yeah.
in general, that also could be said that like because it's Adventure Colon, people will be watching it anyway because of nostalgia and they don't need to put any effort into it in general. Like, I guess you could say that. So I can kind of...
They sure didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not. People did enjoy it, though. Just not me. Next, we have Digital Hazard, who says they loved Clockmon as a villain, and they would have preferred to keep him as one, maybe evolving him into Skull Meramon. That said, this is the second teaser to Dark Evolution for Gammon, but with it being a time thing doesn't mean that Gammon is destined to be a bad Digimon. Missed opportunity for Bandai to bring back the Digital Hazard symbol. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but I have an ongoing theory that... Like, I guess this isn't too much of a spoiler, but the dim cards for all three of the characters don't actually have mega level forms. They have perfects, but not megas. So I'm wondering if at some point the evolutions will become just evil for all three, and evolution will be seen as something that they don't want to do because they lose control over something. So I kind of have, like, this weird theory that the partner Digimon are actually going to evolve into evil Digimon.
They become ghosts and make the kids play games.
Ghosts.
Yeah,
maybe.
We'll see. I could definitely see that, at least briefly, but I sort of doubt that we're not going to eventually do the Digimon thing of getting people up to the highest level to throw big orbs of power at each other.
Yeah.
Next we have Lioli, who says that they think that Clockmon changed because after having his own time sped up, he kind of thought, oh, that's what I'm doing to people, that was horrible, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I didn't think about that, but that might just be what happened, but it wasn't super clear, so I kind of felt like it would have been better if, Clockmon said it.
I think Clockmon knew what he was doing the whole time.
Yeah.
He got to watch it happen in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Next, we have Andrew, who says that this episode went really fast, and it's more evil Gammon foreshadowing. For a moment, they thought the Clockmon was going to die, and showing the cast that Digimon can die. And they were surprised that Hero saved Clockmon's life, but they hoped they don't do this to every single Digimon, imagining if they beat the final boss, and Hero just talked it into being good, which I can see that happening from how this show is going so far. And then they continue to say that they're okay, he's been like this in every ep, but he will always have the last word and undermine any cool fight that will happen, which is a valid concern.
It's certainly been the established precedent so far.
Yeah.
We've not beat a Digimon. Yep. We've always just
they've either run away or we've talked them around. Yeah.
I think this episode came the closest, I guess, except for the Clockmon episode, which was kind of just a weird event. I think this is probably the closest that they actually came to winning. Like, Tessa Jellymon beat Kinkakumon. Like, there was a fight.
Yeah, I guess, they won, but I guess I'm more thinking like along
still
the
could have
lines
just
like...
murdered all those people if he felt like it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ginkakumon can murder me.
But it still came down to, like, the integrity of the bad guy as far as the resolution. Like, you just gotta kind of trust that, because of their honor as gamers, they will release the people.
Yeah. Also, apparently, even though they only got to collect one person per win, I can just ask that all the people be released as my winnings.
Next, we have Ahmed, who says they noticed Pokemon does not know about the Gammon species, so could hint at something when he mentioned that Gammon's evolutions are tied to Hero. But when Clockmon tries to age Gammon, we see the Dark Digimon figure above him that makes them believe that the evil evolution will be his natural evolution, but his other evolutions are all influenced by Hero. And yeah,
potentially.
I guess that would make sense. Yeah.
I definitely don't feel like they're gonna pull that out for all three if that's the case, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. I'd like if they sort of,
I'd like it. We've asked for, ever for them to please do more Dark Evolutions and let them happen to someone who isn't main character Kun. So it'd be nice if that happened. I just don't have a lot of faith in them to, do something good.
Well, and especially since it seems like Gammamon's really the only character who we've ever seen kind of, like, have, like, anger during a fight, like, significantly.
Yeah.
But really only when he's fighting Clockmon, I guess. At least that I recall off the top of my head. But he's like, oh, you're gonna make me explode. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Lastly, we have Azael, who says that they don't like that they didn't save Clockmon because it diminishes the stakes. Like, what if we don't know that the bad guys die, how are they supposed to expect that the main characters could ever die? And I guess that's a point.
I mean, do we really expect that any of the main characters could ever die?
I mean, no, but it's happened in Digimon before where characters have died.
But I certainly don't have that feel from this season.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. Now that we're done with our comments, what about our thoughts for the series so far? So this was episode 10, and I always, when I'm watching something, I like to give things like 10 episodes because I know it's a bit of a commitment. Like, I know a lot of people say 4 episodes, but I feel like 10 is a fairly good way to gauge if you're going to enjoy a show, whether or not you like the themes, especially with Digimon that tends to have like 60 episode seasons. Like 10 is like, it feels like that's a good way of gauging it. And I think in Colon, we were already kind of starting to turn on Colon as of episode 10.
It got significantly worse like 4 episodes after, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think the Metal Greymon debut episode was episode 10, and that was like the first episode where I just did not like it.
Yeah.
So how are y'all feeling about this show so far?
Certainly better than I was about Colon, but
Yeah.
I definitely feel like we have some potential that is getting mixed results. We're doing the ghost stories thing, and that's kind of cool. We're not leaning into scary to any meaningful degree, at least not most
Not really
episodes.
anymore, it seems like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, like, spooky premise.
Yeah, but they don't.
But we don't really have, like,
execution on that.
Yeah, we don't have the, what's his Bucketmon going and dragging people through hallways and stabbing them in the pumpkin head.
Exactly. Or
Oh yeah, Pumpkinmon.
Thank you.
You
I
know,
don't know why I couldn't think of that.
when what's
Yeah,
his name
you said pumpkin.
Yeah.
when what's his name was being turned into alcohol. You know, we couldn't have had him writhing in pain just a little to make me feel better.
He was face down in alcohol. Like that's.
I thought he was
Yeah,
face up.
I bet-
I believe he was face up, but
Oh wait, was he? Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. He's just having like a leisurely soak in the tub. Then
Basically,
the tub
yeah.
is just alcohol. Like
People
I
probably
guess
pay
that's.
good money to bathe in sake like that.
Also, I wonder if any of them were already dead.
I mean, that'd be interesting, but I sure don't think that is the implication we're supposed to take away from it now.
Yeah, nah.
He's the mild troublemaker who, was pleased by getting into Dad's stash, not the murderer who killed a bunch of people and drank their corpses.
Yeah. Yeah, that is fair.
Although he was, it should be noted, absolutely willing to do that to get his fix.
Oh, definitely.
Let's be clear about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's always kind of fun to try to, like, contextualize the messages of a show based on when it's airing, and I kind of feel like this is supposed to be the, like, yeah, we know that 2020 and 2021 have been really scary, but everything is going to be okay because we really would want it to, so we're going to make this show where all the scary things end up getting resolved nicely.
Something like that, yeah.
So I'll be interested to see if that pattern keeps holding the whole time, or if I'm just blowing smoke out my ass.
Well, there's definitely not, like, a really big, like... We don't have episode arcs. We kind of...
Yeah, there's really not
one whole arc.
A story as such so far. To
Yeah, not yet at all,
the
really.
series.
Well, it was described as episodic in the way that, while it might have, like, a start and a finish with an sort of like an overarching plot sort of thing going on, there won't be, this is the Skull Greymon arc, where Taichi faces courage and then learns to be courageous and then he gets Metal Greymon.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like one of those seasons with lots of arcs. It's just going to be each episode is kind of just the way it is and everything gets resolved. Not the whole plot. The whole plot will be sort of happening in the background from episode 1 to episode whatever the last episode is. But it kind of suffers from that because,
going back
as I said,
to very 90s style cartooning in a way that Digimon, ironically, has never really done. And so far it is not working for me.
No, especially because, and as I mentioned, I think I've mentioned most episodes covering this season so far, is that every episode feels like it should be longer, but because we don't have time to, we can't just, because it's episodic, we can't just have, okay, part 1 is this episode, part 2 is this episode, like, stretching out that
and we
plot
really
of
can't
that
get any
little
character
episode arc.
development because
Not really.
yeah, I mean, all of the characters are exactly the same now as they were when we introduced them, and that's
More
But
or
it's
less.
still
bit of
10
a shame.
episodes in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so episode 11 is called Kaimaitachi, which is a Japanese fox-looking yokai. So what are our predictions for this episode?
Excuse me. It's gonna be a
Predictions is
Ruri
a sneeze.
episode, which I'm here for. I'm here for a Ruri
Yeah.
episode if she gets to have a personality instead of just kind of be there.
yeah.
And also it's Repamon, and that's pretty cool. That's a fox friend Digimon, I like that.
That sounds cool.
I wonder if we're going to get an evolution.
I'd be pretty surprised if we didn't.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I feel like we're spacing out we're not having like 2 episodes with new evolutions in a row is what we've seen so far. I'm kind of...
I sure don't think we're gonna give Ruri 2 episodes. Is the problem?
Yeah,
I think we gotta
I don't
get
think so.
back to being the Taichi show.
But
Yeah.
she got the I would say that the System on CL episode was a Ruri episode.
Yeah, but I mean, I as a result, I don't think we're gonna give another episode heavily focused on her again that isn't just getting her evolution out the door, because
Yeah, exactly. I
And-
feel like we're way too focused on Hero to spend too much time doing anyone else's, build up to Evo.
yeah, especially for how little we really got with the one we got finally here. It just sort of happened because it was
Yeah,
time.
well, I mean, that's a lot of episodes of Ghost Gamers. They just happen. I know I keep on saying this, but they just sort of happen. And gosh, I wish that they were just a little bit longer.
Yep. But they've definitely shown, they've shown that they can do some good stuff. I really liked the episode with Clockmon. I just wish that, small details have changed rather than, hating the whole premise. I actually really like the premise of those ones. It's just I wish we could have more permanent consequences and stuff like that.
Yeah,
No, that makes sense.
So it certainly has potential. I'm hoping that it
finds its
kind of
pace
changes
soon.
its tune in a good way in a bit here, but yeah, I'm certainly less bought in than I was on episode 1, and I think I said that last episode too, maybe, or recently at least, but yeah,
That's
I've
pretty
still
fair.
got
I'm
hope.
less into it than I was in the first 4 episodes. I will say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. I've
I
still got
cursed
hope.
it. I can't believe I cursed the show. Alright, everyone, so thanks for joining us. So you can find link dumps in the description, and so is our Redbubble in that description, and you can get more than just shirts there too, so check that out. You can contact us and stay updated. You can send us spam to LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode on our website, which is LostinTranslationmon.com, or on this episode on YouTube, and we'll read it out in Postmon Pat. You can follow us at Translationmon on Twitter, and you can follow us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. I'm at Digimon_Hero on TikTok. That's Hero spelt the weeb way, Hiro. And I stream on twitch.tv/translationmon. And no, I have not fixed the spelling mistake in my notes. It still says translationmon. So that's a thing I should fix one day. Anyway, so you can also chat with us on the Lost in Translation Mon Discord server, which is linked in the description, and on our website and a few other places. So come chat with us. And of course, you can also give us a review on any podcast catcher that accepts reviews. And if I see it, I'll read it out in the podcast. If not, feel free to chuck me a message on Twitter or something and point me in the direction of the review, and I'll read it out. And of course, you can also donate to me on my Patreon, and that's also linked in the description. And you can do that from as little as $1 a month. And that gets you access to the Patreon-only areas of our Discord server, but there are higher levels of more rewards, such as unedited and early episodes, and more. And thank you to our current supporters on Patreon, Joe, Stephen Reeves, who is Wildwing64 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Chisai, who you can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, Neobu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Kyle, Lizmet, who is Elecmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Sam, Emery from Gone While Hunting, a Hunter Hunter Rewatch podcast, Magnus, Lucas, Jacymon05, Patrick, Jason, Grey Tanuki, J. David, Shelby, Digital Hazard, who is on Twitch at The Digital Hazard, and Dedicated Ghazi. Or you can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon, and you can also donate to me on my Coffee account, ko-fi.com/Airdra. So of course, I've been May, and I've been joined by Chloe and Quinn. Can we find either of you doing anything currently or in the future?
Find me playing lots of single-player games.
And not getting absorbed by dommy mummies?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I don't see it in my immediate future.
It's not scheduled on the calendar yet.
Yeah, we have yet to make a task for it, but we'll work it into
Maybe
the backlog.
Soon. Of course. So, of course, thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. And, of course, thank you to the listeners for having us join them in their ears. That's oddly horrifying. I'm really sorry.
I'm here.
But in any
ears,
case,
baby.
we're in the ears, which I believe that's what ASMR is, right? Just like, you know, you come up to someone, you stab them in the ear. I don't know. It doesn't work for me.
Okay, a little bit less that.
The AS is all ear stabbing in ASMR.
Yeah.
Anyway,
always stabbing me
repeatedly.
There we are, that works. I was going to say rectally, but that's not the ears at all. That's
no.
That's the opposite of the ears. But in any case, we're done with that thought. So thanks, y'all, for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
No more horror allowed coming out of my mouth.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.